John Duggan. Hey, Dutch, did you ever meet Freddie Blassie?
Never met him. Never met him. But here's the story about Freddie Blassie. I met a lot of people in Atlanta who knew Freddie Blassie personally because he got hurt and he couldn't wrestle. And he was an over heel. He was the first of the blondes, and he followed the era of Buddy Rogers. So he was the blonde, and he would get on TV and he would file his teeth down, and he'd bite them, and he'd get blood, They do the blade for him, boom. People believed that. So he got hurt. So they had you talked about an advertiser earlier, right? Like the pillow guy, the mattress guy.
Yeah.
He got a job as a car salesman in downtown Atlanta. That was one of the main advertisers on the Georgia Championship Wrestling show. He got a job and he would do interviews, come by a car from, Freddie Blassie, blah, 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 file his teeth. He sold more cars that year than any other salesman. And he got the bonus for selling the car, and he sold a ton of cars. So, but I met people who they would come from Augusta, Georgia, which is 150 miles away, to buy a car from Freddie Blassie. They would come from Columbus or Chattanooga and all over Atlanta and Macon. All over Atlanta, they would all say, just to say they bought a car from Freddie Blassie. So he made the business work for him. Now, I don't know what year he got hurt. I think he had a WWE run left in him, maybe. And I think from there he went to, Vince Jr. would love him. And I think Vince Sr. liked him because he drew him a lot of money at one time. So there's one thing to say about old time wrestling promoters. They have a soft spot in their heart about the wrestlers they pushed. And when they get older, they need help. And a lot of them, and that's what Vince Sr. did. Jr. did it. They would help the wrestlers who they knew and liked. And Vince Jr. was great at that. Now, and Vince Sr., because they would still remember him. So on big garden shows, they'd bring him back to give him a payday. I mean, they weren't going to give him $1 million, but they would kind of take care of him. And I think that's what Blassie ended up doing. So my hat's off to Vince Sr. and Vince Jr. for doing that.